Easter. Mom always said it was a happy time. But here, in our little village next to the whispering cacao trees, Easter sometimes felt different. The air got heavy. The shadows grew long and skinny like creepy fingers reaching out. This year the feeling was stronger, much stronger. It stuck to me like the sticky jungle air, thick and hard to breathe. I'm Luna. I'm 10, and I've always noticed things. Things other people didn't. Or maybe things they didn't want to see. Like how the wind in the cacao leaves sometimes sounded like quiet, hurried warnings. Or the weird dark shapes that danced at the edge of my sight when the sun went down. Dad said it was just my imagination going crazy. Too many scary stories, sweetie, he'd laugh. But I knew, deep down, I knew this Easter would be more than just hidden eggs and family dinners. It would be scary. I had no idea. The real horror was just starting. My cousin Isabela lived in El Silencio. The name means the silence. A good name, I always thought. Her village was even deeper in the jungle than ours. Quieter, and to me, much creepier. Isabela loved Easter egg hunts more than anyone. This year, her grandma, a woman with eyes as old as the mountains, had painted the prettiest eggs Isabela had ever seen. They weren't bright and happy. These eggs were painted with dark, swirly patterns, strange symbols Isabela didn't know. They looked old, almost alive. Isabela was so excited. She held her little woven basket tight. Grandma had hidden them early in the morning. Only the smartest will find these, my little one, she'd cackled. The jungle around El Silencio was thick. Isabela didn't care. She just wanted to find those special eggs. She went off the usual paths, farther than she usually went. She found the first egg at the bottom of a giant tree. Its dark patterns seemed to move when she looked at them. It was heavier than a normal egg, much heavier. She put it carefully in her basket. A shiver of excitement went through her. Isabela had 6 eggs in her basket, 6 heavy, quiet, strangely beautiful eggs. She felt proud, but also a growing worry. The sun was starting to go down. Long, spooky shadows stretched through the trees. She decided to go back. Enough eggs for one day. As she turned, she heard a faint sound. A tiny tap-tap-tapping. It seemed to come from her basket. She froze. Her heart pounded. Impossible. Eggs don't tap. She looked into the basket. The dark, swirly patterns on the eggs seemed to throb, to glow a little in the fading light. Tap, tap, tap. It was louder now, coming from one special egg, the one she found by the big tree. Its shell, once smooth, now had a tiny crack. And from the crack, a thin, dark liquid oozed. It wasn't yolk. It was too dark, too thick. It smelled a little like rust and something else, something rotten. Isabela wanted to scream, to drop the basket and run, but she couldn't move. Tiny skinny legs poked out of the cracked shells, pale and jointed like a spider's legs, but there were too many, and they were too long. Then came the bodies, small, dark, shiny things. They uncurled slowly. Their shapes were wrong, weird. They had too many eyes, tiny red glowing eyes that stared at Isabela. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't move. She could only watch in frozen horror as these things hatched from Grandma's beautiful, terrible eggs. One of them, bigger than the others, scuttled towards her. It moved in a creepy, jerky way. Its many eyes never left her face. It made a soft clicking sound, a sound that seemed like the rustling leaves, but was filled with an ancient hunger. Isabela finally screamed. A choked scream ripped from her throat. She scrambled back, tripping over roots, desperate to escape. The creature lunged. She felt a sharp pain on her ankle. It bit her. She kicked out, her foot hitting something surprisingly hard. The creature hissed. My friend Sofia lived near the old mission church. You know, the one with the crumbling walls and the leaning bell tower. For Easter, her family always made cascarones, brightly painted eggshells filled with colorful confetti, or sometimes with flour for extra fun. Cracking them over someone's head was supposed to bring good luck. This year, Sofia found a dusty old box in the church attic. It was filled with cascarones she'd never seen before. They were beautiful, painted with silver and gold. But they felt cold, so very cold. Sofia was thrilled. These were much fancier than the ones her mom made. She decided to save them for a special surprise. For her annoying older brother Mateo. He always teased her. This would be her revenge. The cascarones were surprisingly heavy, heavier than confetti or flour should make them. And when she shook one gently, there was no happy rustle of paper. Instead, a faint whispery sound, like sand sifting, or maybe like voices, tiny quiet voices. She told herself it was just the wind. The old church was drafty, full of strange noises, but the whispers seemed to follow her. Easter morning arrived, bright and sunny, but Sofia felt a chill that had nothing to do with the weather. The cascarones in the box seemed to pulse with a faint, cold energy. The whispers were constant now, a low, hissing chorus. She tried to ignore them. She went to Easter Mass with her family. She ate the special breakfast, but all she could think about were those cold, whispering eggs and the growing feeling that she'd made a terrible mistake bringing them home. During the family gathering in the courtyard, Mateo started teasing her again, pulling her hair, making fun of her new dress. This was it, her chance. Sofia grabbed one of the special cascarones from her pocket. It felt like ice in her hand. The whispers got louder. Yes, now, let us out. Her hand trembled. Should she do it? Was this just a silly prank, or something more? Mateo was laughing, not knowing anything. She raised her hand. The silver and gold paint shimmered. Sofia smashed the cascaron on Mateo's head. Crack! But it wasn't confetti that burst out. It wasn't flour. It was a cloud of fine grey dust, like ash. And it wasn't just dust. The grey dust swirled around Mateo's head. It stuck to his hair, to his clothes. He started coughing, a dry, painful cough. His eyes went wide with confusion, then fear. The dust seemed to shimmer, to come together. And then Sofia saw them. Tiny shadowy figures forming in the cloud of ash. No bigger than her thumb, but with sharp, needle-like teeth and glowing red eyes. They swarmed over Mateo, chittering excitedly. The whispers were now triumphant screams. Mateo shrieked, a terrible, high-pitched sound. He clawed at his head, his arms, his face, trying to brush away the tiny, shadowy creatures. But there were too many, too fast. They bit and nipped, making tiny spots of blood. My friend Camila lived in a town known for its big Holy Week parades, days of serious parades. People in hoods carrying statues of saints, the air thick with incense and sad hymns. But there was one parade nobody ever talked about, the midnight procession. Grandma said it wasn't for the living, it was a parade of lost souls, of those stuck between worlds. And to see it, Grandma warned with a shiver, was to make them notice you, a very dangerous thing. Camila was curious, too curious. This Easter she wanted to see it. The stories fascinated her, whispers of ghostly figures, of scary silence broken only by the clanking of unseen chains, of a cold so deep it could freeze your heart. Her parents always locked the doors and closed the windows tight on the night it was said to happen. Holy Saturday just before Easter Sunday morning. Stay inside, Camila, pray, and don't look, her dad would say, his face serious. But this year Camila had a plan. Her bedroom window faced the main street, the one the procession was said to take. Camila opened one of the wooden shutters just a little to peek through. Midnight was coming. The town got unnaturally quiet. No dogs barked, no crickets chirped, just a heavy, waiting silence. Camila put her eye to the tiny crack, waiting, watching. The air got cold, so cold she could see her breath even inside her room. A faint metallic smell came through the crack in the shutter, like old blood or rust. Then she heard it, a sound that wasn't a sound, more like a pressure in her ears, a deep humming sound that vibrated through her bones. It was starting. The midnight procession was starting, and she, Camila, was about to break the oldest rule in her town. She was about to look. Through the tiny slit in the shutter, Camila saw nothing. At first, the street below was empty, lit by the pale, spooky light of a cloudy moon. Disappointment stung. Was it just a story after all?